Hello, welcome or welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey today. This is a reading for the 3/6 Human Design Profile, the Martyr Role Model. If you don't know what your Human Design Profile is, there's a link in the description for you to get your Human Design Body Graph, and one of the bits of information on there will be your profile. Definitely be sure. Hello, I can't. All of a sudden, I'm losing my words. What? Definitely be sure to check out your zodiac sign readings as well. Those are up. And as always, and of course, I would love it if you subscribed to my channel. This is a 3-card spread. I don't take the jumpers for this spread, but we love a chatty deck. So the first card is your current energy or what's currently surrounding you. The second card is the energy that's leaving or that's no longer serving you. The third card is the energy that's coming in or will be available to you. And then we'll clarify each one of those with an additional card. So for our Martyr role models. Okay. Here we go. So current energy, we have the 9 of Swords. What's leaving, the 5 of Swords. And what's coming in, geez. The Queen of Swords. Look how much swords. Geez. Okay. A lot of air. To clarify the 9 of Swords, we have the Strength card. Yeah, I'm sure you definitely have been needing that. For the 5 of Swords, we have the Page of Cups. And for the Queen of Swords, we have the Wheel of Fortune. This is the second time I've seen this card today. Haven't seen it in any other readings out of the, like, how many have I done thus far? 16? Between the Zodiac and these, and now I see it twice today. I love that it's in this position, though. It feels like being in control type of thing. So we start with a 9 of Swords. 9s are also individual completion. So the 9 of Swords generally talks about anxiety, fear, doubt. You know, it's like nightmares, you know, the stuff that just kind of keeps us out at night, that stresses us out. But interestingly enough, in this card, they're sleeping. They're usually not in the 9 of Swords. But there's also this crow here that brought this sword to them. So it's like being prepared. It's interesting because, like, if things have been a shit show lately, disclaimer, I have been cussing a lot in these. It just comes out because honestly, that's how I talk in real life. So, there it is. But if things have been stressful lately, you know, there's a crow sitting on every single sword too. It feels like protection. So I don't know. It feels like no matter how bad, like necessarily quote unquote bad, you know, things have gotten, it's like a solution has arrived too. But also, like, through that though, there's some sort of either clarity or lesson, you know, like swords have to do with our mind, right? Like our mindset, beliefs, truth, honesty. How do we communicate? All of those things, right? I also see swords as being the suit of ego too, because that's generally where we hear our ego is in our minds. And our ego is created by the stories that we attach to experiences, to feelings, and it becomes our personality, our temperament. It becomes our belief system, right? Like it becomes our truth too. So, and especially with it paired with the strength card, like really heavy mental energy, but it's also like there's this oomph kind of behind it. And again, to me, it does feel like the energy around you is helping you through it somehow. You know, like something crazy happens, and then along with it though is a solution or somebody to resolve it, or you know, maybe even just changing your perspective on a thing. The strength card is Leo, and it is about, you know, determination, perseverance, finding a way. And also to, I mean, like that could be just exhausting. Like just exhausting. It's interesting. We have the Five of Swords and the Page of Cups in the position of what is leaving. This almost feels like a bubble being burst. Whatever that bubble is for you. How you thought things were going to go, how you thought your life was going to be, how you thought, you know, a relationship was going to show up, or the Five of Swords is, for me, it's a card of a battle of wits. It is very mental, right? It's like mental games, because it is a card of conflict and sometimes even competition, right? There's this figure back here that's walking off with 3 swords. There's 2 swords in this person's back. So there is like some sort of deception happening here. And still, this crow, there's one crow standing on one of these swords, and then there's a crow by one of these swords that's on the ground in the 9 of swords. I mean, you could be reliving something, like a story, a situation, you know, a belief could be coming up. You know, it could be a limiting story, or limiting belief is what I actually meant. You know what is also interesting to me is that in the 9 of Swords, they have wings. In the 5 of Swords, they do not, but the 2 swords are sticking out of where the wings would be. So again, right? Like, because that would be where a limited belief would come from, is if at some point in your life, you felt like your wings were clipped. What's that? Oh my gosh, I have been absolutely obsessed with Alice in Chains lately. And down in a hole, right? There's a line in that says, "I'd like to fly, but my wings have been so denied." That's how that feels. Especially to like whoever this person is that's walking off. They have wings. And to me, that would have been, you know, some sort of jealousy, some sort of manipulation, some sort of, you know, because it's like they handicapped you. And it's like the story that, or the belief that was created out of that, whoever that person is. So this is in the position, though, of what is leaving. So if it is a limited belief, if you have just, you know, like been even just in survival mode, which is interesting because that's been a theme, this will be coming out of it. The Page of Cups is very like imaginative, kind of like free flowy. You know, cups have to do with our emotions. It's also too like even connecting with your intuition. There's a full moon in that. There was a full moon just a couple days ago that was in Cancer, and Mars is retrograde in Cancer right now. So, like there could have just been like a big emotional release or some sort of like understanding about whatever this Five of Swords is. Also, to, just healing with the Page of Cups. It's focusing on, this one cup here, which would be whatever this Five of Swords narrative is here. It could have been arguing. And what is coming in is the Queen of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. The Queen of Swords is very sure of themselves. Like, the Queen of Swords I've always heard is depicted as like being cold. However, though, right, like you cannot bullshit the Queen of Swords. They're holding the Ace of Swords there, which is the sword of truth. So if you're not coming to them with nothing but truth and authenticity, they're just going to slice right through it, and their wings are back. So it's like through this process that you've been in here that really maybe has like really peeled off those layers for you, right? Like it is so important to do that so that you can become the highest version of yourself, right? Like the most authentic, the most true version of yourself, and also even be able to see that. Like queens for me are very individual. Like, it's recognizing the energy within yourself. It's learning to master that energy too. And again, right, these are all swords. So this all has to do with your mental space. Like, what is your perception of things? What's the filter that is your ego that, you take in content, which is just everyday life, right? You're just existing in the world. And, experiences, whatever like comes into our awareness, it goes through the filter of our ego and it kicks out a story. It kicks out a reality based on whatever those filters are calibrated at. So there is this level of clarity there, mastery of your mind, right? Like, what do you want to believe? What do you believe to be true of yourself? And like, what have those stories been? And are they true? 9 times out of 10, they're not true. They could have been true at one point, but are they true now? That limited belief. I bet not. And you can replace it with whatever story. It's like reinventing yourself. Also, even look at all these butterflies, right? That's like the ultimate illustration of transformation, because truly, right? Like a butterfly was a completely different thing originally. They started off as a caterpillar. They built themselves a chrysalis. They turned to goo. They became this butterfly. They got themselves out of the chrysalis. And right, so it's like this total transformation from one thing to another thing. And, like this Wheel of Fortune also is just like double added confirmation of change. We have this lotus that's sitting in this Page of Cups over here. And then we have this big ass lotus that's, holding up, or that's under this Wheel of Fortune here. Not to mention the whole thing with the lotus, right? Like they find their way through murky, dark, like water, and surface on the water to bloom. And they're this beautiful thing. But the journey to get there wasn't very pretty. But here they are. So, anytime the Wheel of Fortune shows up too, to me, it says that however things have been going, right? This 9 of Swords, the Strength card, this 5 of Swords, Page of Cups, however that has been going for you, it is changing. And it also is changing because you are making the mental decision to change it. And you are doing that based on your own truth. and, what is authentic to you. I love it. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.